Reflecting on a year of tears and violence. I wish I could say that 2025 was a wonderful year. However, the level of violence was extreme and dominated this past year. Hanukkah is a time of celebration in the Jewish religion. Incredibly, two Islamic terrorists ruined the festive holiday by shooting at the celebration on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. 16 people who were merely trying to have a fun time are dead, and 40 more injured. The ages range from only 10 to an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor. The Australian government said they would crack down on anti Semitism. Hey, that's a little late. The current government has a history of criticism of Israel and shown support for the terrorists in Gaza. In fairness, the two terrorists were unlikely to have been influenced by that government's position. Interestingly, in a country that brags about gun control, the older of the two murderers had 6 guns, all legally owned. While the hostages still held by Hamas were released, most were dead, and those who survived were victims of terror not seen since the Holocaust. To those morons who think that Hamas should be supported, note that they publicly executed 8 of their civilians shortly after the Israeli forces pulled back from Gaza. Yeah, that's who you're supporting if you're supporting Hamas. As a sad reminder, in May 2025, 2 Israeli embassy staff members were killed in D.C. simply due to their religion. In a prior Saving America episode, we have covered attacks on churches, so Christians are under attack as well as Jews. Speaking of Christians under attack, an estimated 50,000 Christians in support of Muslims have been murdered by Islamic terrorists in Nigeria under the label of Boko Haram. Despite the murders and persecutions that have taken place for over a decade, the media has only recently focused on the slaughter when Trump made it an issue. I find this particularly objectionable when the media has made more of Hamas terrorists being killed than those innocents in Nigeria. Putin has continued to murder the civilians in Ukraine. His crazed desire to rebuild the failed USSR must not succeed. He should not gain anything from his terrorist attacks on a neighboring country. On the domestic front, 2 National Guard members from West Virginia were shot in D.C. One has since died, and it looks like the other will survive. This senseless act reminds us of the danger these law enforcement members and others, such as ICE, face when they are simply helping to protect the rest of us. I believe that the ICE protests around the country are being backed by anti-American sources that need to be investigated for terrorism. The other participants are simply the results of brainwashing and are out of touch with American education system. And don't get me started on the anti-American scum holding office around this country like the governor of Illinois. Reminder, 80% of the country supports closed borders and law enforcement. We also had shootings at Brown University and of an MIT professor. The suspected shooter, originally from Portugal, committed suicide. I'd like to see what the shooter's motivation was. We have far too much violence in our homes and communities in the United States. The murders and shootings dominate the news across our country. It is time to give peace a chance, as the song says. From my base in Houston, Texas, I can't watch the evening news without reports of murders daily. This is combined with something called road rage. This is to end. I urge all of you to show hospitality to others. If you see someone driving to endanger, get away from them. Do not engage. I also call on local law enforcement to engage with the community. Let's stop dangerous drivers running red lights and other reckless behavior. This is Dr. David D. Schein for Saving America. Please subscribe on your favorite platform.